Hey, this is the Glasstron boat. Gotta do a complete, well not complete, but just a restoration on it. Just picked it up yesterday. Needs a decent amount of work. Those seals are bad on the wheels. The floor needs to be solid floor, but probably put some carpet down and clean it up real good. There's all kinds of bugs on it. Look at that big red ant. Oh man. The paint is all chipping real good. Look at all these bugs, man. So motor's all, wiring harness is chewed up, all that stuff. So yeah, she needs a good amount of work, but we'll see if we can kind of bring it back to life here, best we can. So I cleaned out in here the other day, but look at it. There's something.
Like there's eggs in there.
Oh man.
Take that red thing off.
Jeez. I sprayed the hose in here and everything.
You should have been videotaping.
I am videotaping.
Oh, you really are?
This whole thing was empty. You see eggs in there?
I can't, but you gotta like get into the booth, I think. Because there's like the hollow part is facing me.
Oh, great.
You have to like get your head up in there.
Any eggs in there?
You gotta move. You probably got.
Yeah.
You can't even see them.
Is that a baby bird? Oh my goodness.
That's like a lot of work if you say.
Okay, I'm working on this motor. So, this is one of the dumbest motors I've ever seen in terms of its design, but it's got two fuel pumps for some reason, and you got to take everything off to get to the carburetors. Like take the starter off, and then I have decided to take the spark plug distributor off. But you know what, that's fine because I'm rebuilding all that stuff. So the belt looks good, no cracks in it. That must have been replaced recently. So I got the carbs off, rebuilding those. Like I said, I put the fuel pump's been rebuilt. There's new gaskets there. This is some new fuel line that was leaking. So and here's a distributor, and there's points and a condenser in there. I'm just waiting for the new points and condenser to come in the mail. Cleaned out all the points,
For the boat?
and they'll be yeah, for the boat. Making a video here. Oh, it's okay. And I sanded down all the points with the micro grinder so they're real shiny. Okay, put the carbs back on. They're on there like they should. New fuel filters all cleaned out, good to go. Starter's back on. We're just waiting for the part for the distributor, the new what do you call it? Points and condenser. Dude, that points and condenser part for this motor is expensive. It's $100. Well, I need it, so so hopefully I have really good spark. But yeah, cleaned up the carbs really well. Spent a couple hours on that. They weren't too bad though. But I want this thing to run good, so we're gonna get some new spark plugs. I'm not even sure these are the right ones for it. They look okay, but I always like to just do everything right. So it's a 4-cylinder, 65 horse. So hopefully this will be running next week when I get my new points and coils in the mail. All right. Yes, very good. All right, it's another day. Oh, so we're working on. It's got a really good prop on there. But we got the water pump kit and it's a whole new housing. Gaskets galore. This is the metal piece that goes in, and a new water pump. This is the hose. It was completely clogged. They blew air through it and cleared it out. That's clogged still, so that's a little telltale. And it wasn't pumping any water last time I had turned it on, so that needs to be done. Still waiting on the part for the distributor, and I think I'd like to put new spark plugs on, like I said before. I don't even know if these are the right ones for this motor, because I think this motor might take those gapless plugs, those the flat ones. So we're gonna pull her up and change the water pump now. Let's see how this goes. All right, nasty lower unit off. Got the impeller, looks like it's really old. It's got that old cream housing. The new one I got over there is black. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at that impeller. It's coming out. Alright, let's see what we're dealing with here. Take this little ring off first. Oh, mama media. Look at that impeller. And here's the housing. It's got some wear in there. That looks... Is that hole clear? That hole doesn't look clear. Oh, well, if you get the right angle, it's clear. And the impeller is garbage. I wonder why we weren't pumping any water. It's all cracked. So let's switch that out and put on a new one. Alright, here's the old gaskets. It looks like it got so hot down here it actually melted the plastic a little bit here. But I mean, oh my goodness. Alright, well, we got some new gaskets to put on here and seals. So this is going to be really nice. Let's start doing that. Okay, some new gaskets on there and the new plate. And Lena's toy fell down. Okay, there's the impeller. Got the pin lined up in there. So we're going to go ahead and put the housing together and put that on. Okay, there's the new housing. Nice all black. So I'm just going to tighten up all these screws and put it back on. And we should have some good water pumping this time now. Alright, let's get this boat going. Alright, it's another day. The lower unit is on and water pump's in there. I figured today I am going to do the lower unit gear oil. I don't know if it's ever been changed. I just wanted to mention once again that I did do the fuel pumps. I forgot to mention that, but I forgot to record that. But this fuel pump here and this fuel pump here, completely rebuilt, new gaskets and diaphragms and everything. The other ones looked like they were original to the boat. So looks like a lot of things are original. Like it even looked like the fuel pump housing here was original, and maybe even the fuel pump. Couldn't be. This motor is probably from the 70s. Anyway, so we're gonna do the lower unit oil. Let's see. Go ahead and start draining this. There's some shavings on there. I guess it's kind of a normal amount for probably how old this is. It's got a magnet to get the shavings. Once I remove this top one, it'll start flowing faster because it'll be like a vent. Okay, we got a little stream coming down. It's looking good though. I'm not seeing any milkiness, so it's an indicator that our seals are good. If there's milk, that means there'd be water getting in here. So it looks like we have good seals. And you see this prop is like brand new. It hasn't even, I don't even know if it's touched the water yet. So that's gonna be nice. Look at that. Here she comes. So, it'd be nice to have some fresh oil in there. Okay, I lowered the motor to really try to make sure I'm getting all of the oil out. Both of the screws are still out right there. I got a little leak. Got to clean that up. But we're now screwing on the new oil. We're gonna pump it until it starts coming out the top. I'll probably lower the motor. I think it's supposed to be done that way. Well, it'll probably be better to be done that way. And then we'll put the caps back in and call it a day. Okay, got the metal shavings off this. I had this leaned down, pumped it up more, then I pulled it back up, the skeg here, just to make sure I put the cap back on the top here. I want to pull this cap, put this lower unit part back on, and I have a new little seal for it. What do you call it? Compression seal or something? So we're going to go ahead and put that on. Alright, that's done. Go ahead and wipe it down here. Oily. Yeah, so that's the water pump and lower unit oil. And, alright, on to the next thing. So this is the new wick and everything it comes with. Points. Got the old ones broken in there. It broke right here. So this is where, that's where it's broken. So we're putting this new one on. Got this is new old stock. So this is actual mercury equipment. And we'll go ahead and be rebuilding this now. Alright, it's done. The new wick and points are in. I also shined up this copper connection, and then I did this the other day. There's copper connections in here, which I also shined up, and then this one down here. Yeah, these connections here were just covered in green, whatever, corrosion. So they're good now. Gonna put this whole thing back together. Okay, gonna put the rotor back on. It only goes on one way. See how there's a flat spot there? Goes all the way down. Here goes the cap. And just gonna screw these in. And last one, give them a little torque down. Make sure they're tight. So, alright, that should be it. I believe it's ready for the boat now. And we'll go ahead and put this on. And I think that's it to get the motor running. Let's see. Alright, I think we're in pretty good shape. We got the motor all put back together. Everything I did with it, I did rebuilt the distributor with new points and coils and cleaned out the points there for the connectors. Redid the carburetors are rebuilt. Did the fuel, the water pump, and the lower unit oil. Did 2 fuel pumps here, one here and here. I replaced some of the wiring that looks really sketchy. What else? There were some issues with the connector for the shifting. That was out of whack, and so I still have to, the box is still I had to take it off and take it apart and go through it. I got to take it apart again because the choke's not working anymore, and it was working before. So I think a wire just came loose in there. So I'm going to have to take that back apart, take another look at that. I also, a lot of things I didn't record. I just used liquid electrical tape and some heat shrink tubing, and I redid these wires in here, and then I just wrapped it in electrical tape. So that should be pretty good. So I think I'm ready to fire it up and see if it starts. I have no idea if it's going to run. Oh yeah, and this is also a new fuel line here. So we'll see if it runs, see if it starts up. It ran before, but it was like really poorly running, and it wouldn't stay on. It was really hard to turn on, and like I said, there was no water coming out the water pump, the tail end, the water pump. I did clean this thing out, the little telltale hole here. So if the water pump's working, it should be spitting out there, and if the engine's working, it should start up. Hey, let's see what happens. I'm gonna go turn the water on. Okay, so as I said earlier, the choke solenoid's not working, so I may need to use some starter fluid to get her started up, but we'll see what happens. See if we'll start without starter fluid. I don't know. All right. She's running good, but it seems like the idle's a little way too high. So I can adjust that idle down. But it seems like it's running pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust that idle and come back to you. Alright, this is the last thing I'm doing with the motor. I'm just running it with seafoam. So I got 1 gallon of regular gas in here, and then a can of seafoam. Yeah, I'm just doing it because I saw a lot of carbon on the pistons, so I figured I'll see if I can try to get some of it off. She's really smoking up over there, but I think it's cleaning up pretty good. It's actually running a little smoother. The carbs are really clean since I've rebuilt them, but I'm seeing if I can get those pistons cleaned out. So I did it as per the instructions, and let's see how she works out. She's running nice now. I think the seafoam helps. So when I was running the seafoam, I noticed a little clicking noise, and it was coming from this top plug, and this plug was a finger loose. So I tightened it up and I got rid of that, and actually helped smooth out the idle a little bit. I actually took the plug off and looked in there. You won't be able to see with the phone, but it's definitely so much cleaner. Like, you could see the carbon basically is gone, so it's so much better in there. So I'm glad I did that, and seafoam is made for outboards, so it really works really worked well on this motor. So, yeah, finally, it took a lot to get this motor running right, but I think I'm really happy with it. So I'm really excited to see how she performs on the lake. All right, tomorrow is going to be the carpet and the seats and the cleaning up in here and the bimini top. And we'll put the whole cover back on the motor and just put all that back together. Oh, and I have new spark plugs coming. I had to special order them because they didn't have them at the auto place here. So these will be all new spark plugs. Probably don't really need them, but it'd be nice to have them. Because these are Champion plugs, and this one's a Delco plug, so it's all mix match. And they say the NGKs are the ones that are supposed to be with this, so why not? Anyway, that's that. The motor's done. On to the fun. Well, the motor's fun too, but this is a fun part too. So, all right. The floor was totally redone by the previous owner, and he said he spent a long time working on it, new stringers and fiberglass, and he did a good job. So, it's real solid now, real solid wood, and he did it all the way up here, and so it's. I think it'll look really nice with the carpet. You see the paint's peeling right over there. That's where he painted it. So it's going to look real nice with carpet, and real nice with the bimini. And that bird nest, I think the bird's gone, because that was like 6 weeks ago from earlier in the video. And I haven't seen the bird going in and out, and I looked in there and there was nothing in there, so I'm going to get that nest out. Make sure there's no birds or eggs in there anymore. Throw this back together. And that's a new battery here. And this right there, that's a new battery. And this battery is old. Gonna bring that into Walmart for a core fee or something. And I got the new hubs for the wheels, which I'll be putting on tomorrow also. All right. I'm looking forward to tomorrow.